test is coming off next week, you tell me, right?
Definitely.
Good job. And the heart and soul of the 11-1 Texas Longhorns Jr. Colt McCoy. Welcome. They are three quarterbacks for their home state universities. Combined, their teams are 35-3. Two of these guys, of course, have already crossed paths on a Classic in Dallas. Two are on a collision course in the BCS championship game, just 26 days away. In the unlikely event of a three-way tie, the BCS formula will play no part in deciding the outcome. You okay with that, Colt? Okay.
Good.
All right, guys, take your seats as we invite you folks to salute these three finalists. We'll tell you that although they're icons where they come from, they're also college students, so some college culture, fun information. Who's in the iPod in the pregame? It's a country flavor here. Kenny Chesney, Garth Brooks for Sam Bradford. Colt McCoy listens to country to calm himself down. These guys all, of course, play video games. Look at the number of text messages Tebow gets, 50 per day. And by the way, there are no authentic Facebook or MySpace pages out there involving these three guys. Just in case you're looking, they're not authentic. They want me to tell you that. Well, the head of the Longhorn herd used to be Vince Young. He left this theater very disappointed as a runner-up 3 years ago. Then he marched Texas down the field to a national championship. But just before that winning drive, he popped Colt in the chest and he said, pay attention to this. Someday, this is going to be your job. Colt's baptism came as a redshirt freshman, and Vince was a pretty tough act to follow, but he had studied his moves very closely. And finally, as a junior, Colt had a season more productive than any season that Vince ever had. But just as crucial, McCoy makes his teammates' performance better and their belief stronger.
Colt McCoy, Texas.
Pressure, bring it on. This QB has a blitz-proof brain. Execution, each snap. Improvisation when the moment demands it. It starts with accuracy. Off the charts. Throw after throw. On time, in stride. Precise ball placement allows maximum gains after the catch. Injuries inspired McCoy to attack the weights. With new muscle, he can absorb blows, but also administer them.
Touchdown, Texas! How about Colt McCoy?
This Colt was not born to run, but he's embraced the burden of Texas's top ground gainer, able to elude and level tacklers.
Well, you can see the statistics. Impressive completion percentage, #1 overall, but #1 in a lot of the crucial categories. On third down, in the red zone, when it counts most, his accuracy was superb. 31 career wins, by the way, is the most for any Texas quarterback ever. And when the Horns trailed in the fourth quarter twice this year, Colt was 9 of 10, 20 yards per completion. Born Daniel McCoy, just across the border in Hobbs, New Mexico, grew up hunting dove and fishing in West Texas. Colt never really allowed himself to dream that he might one day be a Texas Longhorn, much less be within arm's reach of the Heisman Trophy like Earl Campbell or Ricky Williams. From Tuscola to Times Square is a pretty amazing journey, but a big part of McCoy remains rooted right there in the prairie.
Tuscola, Texas. Population 714. It's a great small town. I know everybody. Everybody knows me.
Colt had a connection to the community, and the community had a connection to Colt. And that's why it is so exciting for us to be living this vicariously through him.
Everybody's behind him. I mean, it put Tuscola on the map. Nobody knew where Tuscola, Texas was till Colt McCoy signed with the University of Texas.
Growing up in small towns, and you know, sometimes a lot of opportunities aren't there for guys, but to be able to overcome that and to be able to play here, and that shows a lot for the guys who play small town football in Texas.
Colt is a great representation of our community, of our school, as he is for Texas. The fact that we're small doesn't change your values. You never forget where you came from. Colt emphasizes this.
Because we had such a small team, everybody played on both sides of the ball. I learned how to deal with people. I was so close with everybody. You learn a lot growing up in a small town.
He does represent Tuscola. He's our celebrity. He's our hero.
If Colt wins the Heisman, we'd like to paint our water tower in Tuscola, home of Heisman winner Colt McCoy. I think that'd be a special tribute to him.
I think it means a lot back home to all the people in Tuscola. I know they keep up with me. I know they follow me, and that means a lot.
The Colt you're seeing on TV is the Colt that he really is. He is the real McCoy.
This is him right here, number 12. That's it.
A Colt, a hero to so many there, but one of his heroes was his cousin, Grant Hines, a Marine sergeant who served 3 tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. This May, he died of a brain hemorrhage just a day after a car accident. Before every game this season, Colt looked at a picture of Grant in his locker and put around his neck the crucifix that Grant used to wear. Kirky dedicated his season to his cousin, and I think Grant would be very proud.
Well, Chris, there's no question about that. And it's interesting, sitting here standing with Colt, 700 plus. I said 714. He said, well, 713 now. And your dad told me one stoplight, and it's a blinking stoplight. You go from that world to the quarterback at Texas, where every eye in that state is on you. What was the biggest challenge you faced?
And there was a lot of challenges I faced. First of all, there was more people on my level of my dorm room than there was in my hometown. So that was the first challenge I had to overcome. But I thank Coach Brown for the opportunity to come and play. And I thank God, because without him, I wouldn't be where I was.
Go back to your freshman year. You had the difficult task of trying to replace Vince Young, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks ever, and you did a great job. But where do you think you've improved the most from that freshman year to being here in New York City at the Heisman ceremony?
Well, I spent a lot of time with my coach this summer, taking care of the ball, leading my team. I think those are the 2 most important things for a quarterback. And the way your team responds to you all throughout the season, I've grown, and I've been able to play for 3 years, and looking forward to my next one.
I have to ask you this. I mean, you complete 77% of your passes. People don't do that against air, and you're doing that in a game. For the young quarterbacks out there, what's the key in your mind to accuracy?
I think a lot of it is practice, over and over, repetitions, getting your receivers out there, working on timing, and trusting your offensive linemen. We spent a lot of time in the spring. My offensive linemen played great this year. They're awesome. They're all coming back. I can't wait. But I think that's the key, just sitting in the pocket, understanding your receivers, understanding your route concepts, and what you need to do to defeat the defense.
Congratulations on a great year, my man.
Thanks.
All right, Coach.
Thank you, Kirk. I'm here with Coach Mack Brown. Coach Brown, this guy was a marvelous athlete. And what part of his game did you marvel at the most?
Coach, the first thing you see is he's got tremendous character, which we could see by that story. And he's like the Pied Piper. Everybody wants to follow him. But when you look at what he does on the field, he can beat you with his feet, but he also can beat you with his accuracy. He's the most accurate quarterback in maybe college football history, and he keeps us on the field. He is successful on 3rd down. And at the same time, he's very, very unselfish.
Coach, you know, what factor did you and Colt discuss, maybe privately, if nothing else, when he came to his decision to come back for his senior year at Texas?
Colt is such a great role model for young people. He never wanted to leave. When he was growing up, his dad, Brad, who's a great high school coach in Texas, played at Abilene Christian. So I think he really thought he wanted to be the quarterback at Abilene Christian. And it got a little bigger than that as he grew a little bit older and had a little bit more success. But Colt wants to be the 4-year starting quarterback at the University of Texas, and he's already broken all the records, but we're sure excited about him coming back.
Chris, Coach Brown here has done pretty well for himself recently. He's had 8, 10-plus seasons in a row. A great football coach, an even better person.
Thanks, Coach.
Great quarterbacks certainly help, don't they? Mack and Colt and the Longhorns headed for Tempe, Arizona, Tostitos Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. Meanwhile, tomorrow night here on ESPN, the breakdown of all 34 bowl games on Bowl Mania, from the locks to the toss-ups. Todd McShay will give us some under-the-radar players to keep an eye on. Bowl Mania presented by Assurant Health tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. And, of course, as we said, in just a few weeks, Sam Bradford and Tim Tebow will be headed down for Miami, the BCS National Championship game, seeking a different kind of precious trophy, the crystal ball. And it'll continue a trend if one of those 2 guys wins tonight. Heisman Trophy winner in a BCS championship game. We will continue as the countdown is on. The 74th Heisman Trophy winner inside this hour. We'll meet Bradford and Tebow coming up.